Hello, I'm Susan Brewer and I thought that I would show you a few Rosebud dolls today. Rosebud dolls made by a company called Need Plastics in Northamptonshire. They registered the name Rosebud in 1947, and the story goes that there was a party of school children going round the factory, and one little girl said, "I love the doll's lips, they look like rosebuds." The manager was so impressed that he registered that name. Originally, Rosebud made composition dolls. Composition, this is a composition doll here. I'll put this one down. Composition is a mix of plaster, resin, glue, all kinds of things. Every manufacturer had their own special recipe. It's a very hard substance, and these dolls were particularly popular from the 1930s, 40s and very early 50s. This one dates from around 1947. Is jointed at the legs, arms and head. She has sleep eyes with eyelashes, and she is marked Rosebud on the back. I want to show you her feet because this is something that you will find in a lot of composition dolls. The toes have all been scuffed. This is really common, and the main cause of this was small children who used to carry the dolls around and they used to drag them across the floor. And so invariably the feet got worn, all the toes used to get worn. It's just playwear. It's rather nice to see, I think, in a composition doll. Anyway, this one is wearing her original organdy dress and bonnet. And she's a very pretty doll. I'm going to show you another composition doll made by Rosebud. This one is still in the original box. Now this particular one is dressed as a fairy. These little dolls were 7 inches high, and they were the forerunners of a whole series of 7-inch dolls made by the company. Later they changed to plastic, but these dolls, as you can see, they don't have a jointed neck. They're all moulded in one. The legs don't move, but the arms do. They've got painted eyes, painted features, and these composition ones are marked Made in England. They don't say Rosebud on the back. By the 1950s, the little composition dolls were now being made in hard plastic form. I've got one here, it's still in her original box. As you can see, she's still not jointed at the neck or the legs, it's only the arms that move. 7 inches high. And she's got a very pinched face, a pouty mouth. These dolls were very popular, and they were made throughout the 50s and 60s, early 60s. Later, the face was changed. This one, a similar body, but the face is completely different because, as you can see, the eyes are much bigger. And she hasn't got the pinched expression, she's got more of a pleasant expression. Also very popular in the 1950s were these little ones which are called, or collectors call, thumbs up babies. The simple reason that one hand is moulded with the thumb showing, and the thumb fits into the doll's mouth. This one is an early model. Now, thumb sucks have still got the rigid neck, but they are jointed at the legs and at the arms, and as you can see they've got bent legs, which signifies that they're baby dolls. These early ones have got painted eyes. Although they're sleep eyes, they are painted. And these dolls are marked on the back, Rosebud, made in England, in block capitals. Later dolls, the eyes are still sleep eyes, but they are plastic. When I was a child in the 50s, Rosebud dolls were wanted by every girl because they had such a reputation for being, not only being good quality, but being very, very pretty, and everybody loved the name. So if you had a Rosebud doll, you could go around and be a bit smug and say, well, my doll's a Rosebud. Needless to say, I never had a Rosebud, but my friend had two, and sometimes she used to let me hold one if I was good. Anyway, these are the thumbs up dolls. This little black one, he's quite a late one as well. And now we come to one of the collector's real favourite dolls, which is Miss Rosebud. This is Miss Rosebud. Miss Rosebud is elasticated at the head, arms and legs, and has got a very, very pretty face. Beautiful colouring. She's got sleep eyes, and she is 8 inches tall. Still made from hard plastic. This one is a later Miss Rosebud, and the eyes on this Rosebud are tiny bit bigger, and they have a little bit of the white showing, whereas this one has no white at all. So that's the difference between the early one and the late one. Now, the magazine Woman's Weekly loved all these Rosebud dolls, and the babies, the straight-legged and the 8-inch dolls were all used for their patterns, and they used to publish dozens and dozens and dozens of patterns, knitting patterns and sewing patterns, to fit all these dolls, and they were really, really popular at the time. Of course, Rosebud also made bigger dolls. This one is a baby doll, but he's bigger at 9.5 inches. He's all hard plastic, and he's got the typical baby bent limbs. You can see he's got bent legs. His eyes are a type of plastic we call them glassine, and they have got the moulded lashes, plastic lashes. So he's quite an early doll. He's early 1950s. And he's marked Rosebud on his back. The next doll, baby doll, is this one. Now this one dates from 1957, and in the catalogue she's described as a dusky baby. There again, she's got the bent limbs, and I don't know if you can see, you probably can't, but she's got a lovely faint rosy blush on her cheeks. There again, this one too is hard plastic. She has sleep eyes, but her lashes, instead of being the hard plastic lashes, are softer. They are hair lashes. This means she's a slightly later doll. As I said, she's 1957, so getting towards the end of the 1950s. And she's 15 inches high. And the third doll is a girl doll. Now this one is 10 inches high, and as you can see she has straight legs. So if you've got straight legs, it's a girl or a boy. Bent legs is a baby. I think this one's a boy though actually anyway, because he's got a boyish face. Hard plastic again. Now she too has got the glassine eyes with the hard lashes. So she's a fairly early 1950s doll. Rosy cheeks and the typical Rosebud mouth, which is a closed mouth, very small lips, very pretty mouth. And you'll find that most Rosebud dolls have got that particular pretty mouth. The next two dolls are knee bend dolls. They're both 17 inches tall. This one is hard plastic, so she's quite an early doll, 1950s, early 50s. And she has got the hard eyelashes, plastic eyelashes with the glassine eyes. And she wears a wig, of course, because at that time hard plastic meant dolls had to have a wig. You couldn't drill into the plastic. As you can see, she has got bent knees, which makes she could sit or kneel. And these were quite popular, these dolls, although the knees weren't particularly strong, so you'd often find them with broken knees. Now, the other doll, this one, it's the same body. The knees bend, walks, it's the same. But she has an updated head. We're now into the era of vinyl. So she has a soft vinyl head. She also has hair eyelashes. And her hair now has been rooted into the scalp. So this means that the hair can be washed and combed without danger of pulling the wig off. Same height as the other one, 17 inches. This is called a transitional. We call all dolls that have got hard plastic bodies but soft heads transitional. Most manufacturers couldn't afford to replace all their machinery in one go when the soft plastics came out. So they replaced the heads first, and they used up all the old bodies that they had for the hard plastic dolls, and eventually, of course, they went on to get the equipment to make the bodies, arms and legs as well, all from vinyl. Now we're into the 1960s. This doll was made in 1961. As you can see, she's a completely different shape to the other dolls. She's a teen doll. Teen dolls became popular at the end of the 1950s. But unfortunately, these big teen dolls, the popularity did not last very long, because only a couple of years later, Cindy came along. And once Cindy came along, everybody wanted a Cindy. This doll, she's in an original outfit, which is actually quite daring for the time, with this two-piece top like this and a bare midriff. She's got rooted hair, and she's got sleep eyes with hair lashes. She's got arched feet, so she can wear heels, high heels. and she has painted fingernails. This lovely doll is marked on the back, Rosebud, but she uses the updated mark now. We're into the 60s. The mark was updated actually at the end of the 50s, and it is the word Rosebud in a key symbol. So, anyway, I hope you like seeing some of the dolls from the Rosebud factory. They continued making them for some time afterwards. They made lots of vinyl dolls as well. This one, of course, is one of the vinyls.